A total drama video game. That's the only intro I could think of.
At the end of the 2000s, there was a show that I'm sure that you never heard before. I'm talking about a show called Total Drama. Back in those days where Cartoon Network— Whoa, Scar! What happened to the audio? It sounds so much better. Why, thank you, I'm glad you noticed. I bought a new mic because I was about done with recording my audio with my Samsung Galaxy headphones. It was the summer of 2013. It was the summer of 2013 and I recorded this audio on a pacemaker. So no more recording audio with the mic cracks everywhere. All for you, babies. Okay, back to the video. Back in those days where Cartoon Network was facing its hazy days of nothing good being brought on except chowder, from the north to save us came a beloved reality show spoof. And between the period of 2007 till September 12, 2013, the world of animation belonged to Fresh TV. But there was something that this super popular show didn't have in comparison. And I am talking, of course, about, if you haven't guessed by the title of this video, video games. This is something that I've always kind of wondered as to why it never happened. Why do all the good shows we know and love have video games while Total Drama doesn't? Well, we're gonna find out. Part 1. The background. Since video games have become a piece of modern-day entertainment, that broadcasting channels have seen this as a marketing strategy to make more money out of their popular shows. How does it work? It goes like this. Hey kids, do you like watching the adventures of 3 kids that live in some place in Canada? Then why not buy the adventures of the 3 Stooges of the early 2000s? It has to be good since the cartoon is good, right? Wrong! The foundation of video games based on cartoons starts with a small budget that goes into buying the license to use the cartoons in the game, and then use what little they have to construct a passable, heavy on that passable, game and subsequently market it. This way, when parents see these games on the shelf, they go, my kid likes this, maybe I'll buy it, and they will like it too. Although this isn't a very common practice in this day and age, it seemed that being a cartoon or an animated movie, or the Olsen twins, oh my god, such a... in the 2000s meant that you would get a licensed game, just to make an extra profit out of foolish parents. The game didn't even need to be good or replayable. Once the game has been bought, the company that made it couldn't care less if you played it or lit it on fire. Is there any reason why the Powerpuff Girls, Shrek, SpongeBob, Dexter, Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Fairly Odd Parents, the list goes on had so many titles? The reality of these games is that they all are unoriginal. They basically just take an already existing game and give it a fresh coat of paint, and are either mediocre at best or terrible at worst. Except The Simpsons Hit and Run, that game is just precious, prove me wrong, and although this practice was common in the late 90s and early 2000s, by the end of the decade it started to die off, at around the time Total Drama came to be. Which could justify why there is no video game title under the name of Total Drama. Part 2. What game it would have been. If you know a thing or two about licensed games of Cartoon Network, you might know that Cartoon Network is willing to milk whatever they can off their cartoons. So for the sake of this video, let's divide Cartoon Network shows into 2 categories. First, the category of cartoons that their plot is ready-made for video games. Example, Powerpuff Girls, punches, bad guys, explosions, it gets a lot of side scrolls and adventure games. Dexter, science, explosions, a huge lab, make a lot of games based on its lab. Samurai Jack, swords, an evil entity, action, explosions, make action games and sporadically remember that this show exists to make a profit 3 years after the show comes to an end. As for the category of other shows that are just simple and following everyday lives of these cartoon characters, like Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Fosters, Camp Lazlo and Johnny Bravo, well, they can either be a mediocre platform or just a minigame collection. That doesn't excuse the other members of Category A from being in these genres. And unfortunately, I do believe that this is the category that Total Drama fits in. Shows that are heavier on character development and don't favor that much action don't go down in history as having the best games. I do think that if a Total Drama video game ever came to be, it would either be a simple platformer where you could play a limited number of characters with different stats and abilities, or a minigame collection where they name each minigame a challenge. But I contacted someone with much more experience in this department to help a little bit more as to why there isn't a Total Drama video game. So ladies and gentlemen, with you, Mr. Brandon Marlowe, owner of the YouTube channel Cartoon Review.
Thanks for having me, Scar. My name's Brandon and I run the Cartoon Review channel over at youtube.com/cartoonreview, where I have the series Cartoon Network Video Game History and my recently launched Nickelodeon Video Game History series, which are all about reviewing games based on cartoons. Total Drama has had a heck of a run. The fact that the franchise has been around for about 13 years now is something that should be celebrated. It's also somewhat of an anomaly when it comes to animated television aimed at a younger audience. We've seen numerous shows, such as Symbionic Titan, cancelled because the network were unable to license it heavily. Since the 80s, licensing and merchandising have gone hand in hand with cartoons. At first, during this craze, cartoons were being developed purely to advertise toys. However, this soon flipped around and it was all about making toys, shirts, and putting your cartoon's branding on everything imaginable. Total Drama is an anomaly because it's never received this treatment. In 2020, it's rare to see a cartoon survive on traditional broadcast TV without this. Total Drama exists in this strange space. It's clearly performing well with audiences, otherwise it wouldn't have been on the air constantly since 2007. However, a big marketing push has never happened. While it's nice to see a show being able to sustain itself, it also means that a Total Drama video game could never happen. Look at the Cartoon Network shows that have received video games in the past decade. Shows like Adventure Time and Regular Show have been merchandised like crazy, so video games just make sense. A show like Steven Universe has also received the video game treatment too, and while it's not nearly as merchandised as something like Ben 10, its overwhelming mainstream popularity proved there was a demand for it. Total Drama just exists in this weird space. It's popular enough to keep running, but its premise and popularity are not enough to justify intense marketing deals. At the end of the day, video game development costs are astronomical now, so for a cartoon to receive the video game treatment, it needs to be a juggernaut.
Thanks, Brendan. In reality, a Total Drama video game wouldn't be good, let's face it. But if we lived in a world where a Total Drama could have an investment in making its name into the video game franchise, what game would Total Drama would have been? Part 3. What game would a Total Drama video game be like? As I stated before, Total Drama isn't really a show that is ready-made for video games. If in fact it did do it from scratch without resorting to clunky platforming games, it would perhaps be either A very loyal narrative to the show. I can see it working. Each episode would be a level, and we could compete in challenges like they did in the show. We could explore Camp Wawanakwa, interact with campers, and acquire skills like in the show, just like in that Total Drama action game they had on Cartoon Network. But in order for this idea to go onwards, that would mean taking part in elimination. What if you were eliminated from this show? What would it mean? Would you have to start all your interactions all over again? Would you be stuck on Playa dos Losers forever? And after you win, what would keep you coming back to this game? I do believe that would mean having almost no post-game and just wasting money on something with almost zero replayability. On this note, I thought that perhaps the source material of Total Drama, Survivor, had a game. To my surprise, it has, and even more surprisingly, it fills in a lot of requirements that I thought of. But when you read reviews like, quote, "It is horribly boring and repetitive. The graphics are weak and even the greatest Survivor fan would break the CD in two after playing it for 20 minutes, end quote. Perhaps it's best that Total Drama doesn't step on that path of the world of gaming. But what if we, B, made an MMO, massive multiplayer online, of Total Drama? Well, I do believe that would be interesting. Sign up for a select group of people and work in teams until everyone has been eliminated. The game doesn't have to be put on hold, it could go on after an elimination ceremony. That would actually be a neat idea. But why is this not even talked about on the internet? Well, there is a reason. MMOs aren't really very profitable and are more likely to fail than to succeed. Between the price of development, the service maintenance, the process of making patches and fixing glitches, and the constant creation of new content for people to enjoy, there is the need to have an audience to play such a niche MMO. What would compel people to jump out of the most popular and better MMO and join in an MMO of a cartoon? Why would one's leisure time that they could spend playing the well-crafted game be spent on a cartoon MMO? There is a reason why Fusion Fall has been shut down. I cry every day over the fact that I didn't manage to play that game. However, if Total Drama was a theme within a popular game, not only it would mean that we would have the things listed, but it would also offer other things for people not interested in Total Drama. In that category, enters Roblox. I've been watching a few gameplays and maybe I'll get down to play it in the future, But from what I saw, this fills all the requirements. It brings fans of Total Drama together and offers a whole lot more for players that do not share the same interests of Total Drama. Look at the fools. But that isn't really a Total Drama video game title now, is it? So the reality here is, Total Drama isn't really made for video games, and it's probably for the best that there isn't a single title for it. Part 4. But Scar, why did you compare Total Drama to other shows of Cartoon Network if Total Drama isn't a Cartoon Network original and original Canadian shows don't really get video games? Part 5. To conclude. Despite us wanting a Total Drama video game, it's probably for the best that we didn't have it. It wouldn't be reinventing the wheel to the point where it would give us a new groundbreaking genre of video game. It would probably be a platformer or a minigame collection. As much as it sounds like a good idea in theory, in concept I believe it would be mediocre at best. And that is the worst sin a video game can do. And I applaud the creators for not succumbing to such a marketing strategy and selling out their product. But seeing as Canadian cartoons don't always get the same kind of treatment in the video game department as American cartoons do, I guess this is a common trend. So the real conclusion here is, we are all spoiled kids that want a video game based on our cartoons. We don't even care how bad it can be. I'm sorry if I disappeared for a while. I got a job to gain some money, hence why the audio sounds better now. College is starting in October, so I'm sorry in advance if I ghost this platform. It's not intentional, I just need to direct my entire focus into it. I'm still going to upload my usual crap into this platform, but not in the same level as I did when the pandemic started. And finally, major thanks to Brendan Marlowe for helping me with this video. I really like his videos on reviews of games that I played before, and honestly I believe that making this video without him would be useless. And finally, thank you for your responses. You basically helped me write this script. You helped me write what I'm reading right now. Yay! Okay, bye.